session with recitation from Holy Quran. To conduct this session, I request Professor Nadia Naseem, Pro Vice Chancellor, University of Health Sciences, a renowned pathologist from Lahore, to please come and take over the stage. Thank you, ma'am, for being here.
Thank you so much, Professor Aftab Musin. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. Today, respected faculty members who are present here, the expert panelists who are with us, members of the PSIM, and all the participants. Today, we are having a great pleasure because we are delving into the topics which are very closely related to the scientific publishing and scientific writing, which is basically, we can say, a lesser addressed domain in medical sector in Pakistan. Though we have developed a lot, we have developed different courses, we are working on it, and there are different association, organization, and universities are also working a lot in promoting a research culture in Pakistan, but still, I hope and I wish that this session would be enlightening for all of you because the expert panelists who are with us, they would be updating you with the latest trends and will be guiding you regarding the important and significant topics related to scientific writing and publishing. So medical writing, as we know, is no longer a soft skill. Basically, it is becoming a core competency. We are writing the papers, or we all of us, we must have written papers in our lives, someone with a passion and someone, many of us, I can say especially the culture in Pakistan, where we are writing mainly for the purpose of promotion because it is a binding on us, but many researchers are here who have passion, who are learning it. So that is why I am representing my university, University of Health Sciences. As Professor Aftab has apprised all the members that I'm the Pro Vice Chancellor of the university, and basically I'm a histopathologist, and I'm also the Chief Editor of the University Journal Biomedica. Why I'm here, I'm really thankful to the founding president, and the timing is really very accurate. He has just entered into the hall. Professor Javed Akram Saab. He made me the editor of the UHS Journal when he was the Vice Chancellor, and he is the one, and all the expert panelists whom I will introduce with you, they were the ones who formally introduced the concept of medical editing and medical journalism in Pakistan by launching the structured training programs and training courses from the platform of UHS. UHS is the pioneering university which is offering 6-month certificate courses in medical editing, medical journalism, and 1-year research-based medical journalism diploma. And we have successfully conducted 7 batches. And now I would be introducing the panelists with you, including our Professor Javed Akram. They were the visionary leaders behind all this concept. So publishing in Index Journal adds immense value to the researcher's profile, enhances institutional reputation, and contributes to the global body of evidence-based research. It should be the foremost agenda of each and every university now to develop research culture, especially by training and by informing the student that what is right, what is wrong, how to select a topic, which journals to opt for publication, and what are the ethical conducts in publication. Because as we know, all over the world, the journalism and publishing is facing a lot of unethical practices. So I will not waste much of the time. Ladies and gentlemen, it is both our honor and privilege that we have our expert panelists with us. Each one of them is not only a distinguished researcher and editor, but a pioneer and visionary in the field of medical journalism. First of all, I would like to invite on stage Professor Jainal Aslam Saab. Please come on the stage. He is the chair of this session, and I would just then I would invite Dr. Moin Ali Saab, please come on the stage. He is the co-chair. Thank you so much, sir. And we have expert panelists, Professor Jamshed Akhtar, Sir Shaukat Ali Javed Saab, and Professor Akhtar Shiri. And we will introduce, I would like to introduce each one of them one by one. So regarding Jainal Aslam Saab, so thank you so much for honoring the session. He needs no introduction in academia and research sector. He is the former principal of Army Medical College, Rawalpindi, and former dean of Health Sciences, National University of Science and Technology, Islamabad. He was the founder, Vice Chancellor of Shifa Tamir-e-Millat University, Islamabad, former Vice Chancellor of the University of Health Sciences, my own university, and former Pro-Vice Chancellor of NUMS, Rawalpindi. Having a PhD in physiology, he has supervised many MPhil and PhD graduates throughout Pakistan. He is serving as the Vice President of Eastern Mediterranean Association of Medical Editors, IMAMI, and Professor Aslam has extensive editorial experience, including serving as Chief Editor of Pakistan Armed Forces Journal, as well as Pakistan Journal of Physiology. He is also a member of many editorial boards and many prestigious medical and health sciences journals in Pakistan. Thank you so much, sir, for being here. Our co-chair is Dr. Dr. Moin Ali Saab. He's, mashallah, I just got his introduction just a few moments before. He's a Dow graduate, and he completed his master's in health professional education from Holland. He is the program director of MHPE, that is Masters in Health Professional Education at Aga Khan University. He's the academic director of Jinnah Sindh Medical University. He was the ex-member of the executive committee of Pakistan Medical Commission. He is the one who started and has pioneered the concept of Masters in Health Profession Education in Pakistan to the platform of Dow University of Health Sciences way back in 2019. And he's the one who has initiated the diploma from CPSP, the DCPS in Health Professional Education. And this is a great privilege for us that the one who is our co-chair, he introduced in Pakistan the first time the concept of the integrated PBL curriculum from Buckeye Medical University. Thank you so much, sir, for being a part of this prestigious forum. Now, we will invite our panelists one by one, and our first talk, according to the program, is by our chair, Professor Jainal Aslam. He's basically hitting a very important topic or a very crucial topic just as a foundational step in the beginning of a research journey, that how to select a topic for your research and how to choose an appropriate research journal. Why I'm saying appropriate, that he would be narrating more structurally in front of you, but selecting a suitable research topic that does not only depend on the choice or personal interest of the researcher, but as we know that choosing the right topic also must align with the relevance and also with the needs of the country. Whether it is feasible or not, we have to see a lot of factors. Secondly, the topic must have an original idea, and originality basically is lacking in Pakistan, so I think he will be delving into the topic. We would be becoming more and more aware how to choose a research topic. And how to choose an appropriate journal, as I have commented earlier, that journalism itself all over the world is facing a lot of unethical practices. So for the journal which you would write, you would choose for your publication should not only be relevant to the content, should have a good impact factor, and must be following the ethical practices while publishing. So, sir, I would request to please begin with your presentation. Thank you so much.
Moderate a very important session on medical writing and medical publications and medical editing. I have been assigned two topics in one go. That is, first of all, is how to select a journal for publication. कि आपने सोचा, स्क्रिप्ट लिख लिया कि जी अब इसको किस जर्नल में भेजना चाहिए for publication. So that is the topic, and I will, so to decide it, you have to ask few questions from yourself. After having been written the script, we have to ask questions like to answer it. First is, we should be clear that this aligns the research value to the journal's focus. Now, the question is there a match between the subject of your research and the journal scope? कि journal article है cardiology से और वो जा रहा है anatomy में and vice versa. And then we have to think that the study directly contributes to the journal's thematic area. Always there are vision or themes of the journal which are displayed on the website of the good journals. And we should see that research objectives, your research objectives of the paper resonate with the journal's academic goals. And fourthly, we have to see that it strongly correlates the relevance and impact of the submission. And the second question to ask from ourselves to select a journal is, what is the readership and the target audience? Audience means readers. So what is the readership and the target audience? कि एग्रीकल्चर साइंस में जा रहा है और वो है ह्यूमन साइंस से, so what is the target audience? So choose between whether it is a journal or it is a specialized journal. And then consider the interdisciplinary relevance. Sometimes the journal is interdisciplinary. For example, like gene therapy in uncontrolled diabetes mellitus in type 1 diabetes, for example. So this is an interdisciplinary. It can go for Journal of Diabetes. It can go for Journal of Endocrinology. It can go for Journal of Internal Medicine or Medicine. It can go for Journal of Genealogy, and it could go to the Journal of Therapeutics. So if it is an interdisciplinary, then select out of these that example to which journal it may go. And the next question which we have to ask from ourselves is the journal highly visible? Right? So it has impact factor or not? Has it got indexation that is in PubMed or included in the Scopus or Web of Science? And is it an electronic database inclusion? And then is publisher credibility. Who are the publisher? Like, who are the publisher? And then the next question which we have to ask from ourselves while selecting a journal is, what is the CV value of the publication? CV value means journal's reputation. कि लोग इसके बारे में, अहले इल्म इसके बारे में, अहले किताब इसके बारे में, अहले कलम इसके बारे में क्या सोचते हैं? Like, and then recognition in the academic circles, right? You can ask the people in the college, in the university, like, or in the institutions, like, about its reputation or recognition. And then is editorial board influence. Like, on the website, see who are the people who are included in the editorial board. Are they graceful? Are they credible? And then is affiliation and sponsorship. Usually, the journals of institutions, associations, universities, like generally, they are much more accredited than the other journal, but not necessarily. And then is opportunities for your career growth, right? If your article is published in this journal, will you get collaborations or fellowship or academic promotions? Like, so that is the other aspect which we have to see. And then the other question which we have to ask from ourselves is, what are the journals turn around time? Like article type, now jo aapka article hai, now whether if it is original article and that publishes it, or you are as a review article, does it accept review article or case report and the like. Secondly is submission requirements. Like, what are the requirements of that journal? Like, say, word count limit or formatting guidelines and references style before submitting. Does your article commensurates with that? And the peer review duration, very important. How long does it take, like, for the peer reviewing? And then publication time, after the journal has been accepted. Access, how long it takes from acceptance for its publication. If you may in a hurry, like for promotion or for any other reason, so it may not suffice your requirement. And then the other question which we have to ask from ourselves, what are the publication charges? Very important financial model. High impact journals often have strict criteria and may charge higher fee. Some journals offer fast track, like options for quicker publications, usually at an extra cost. And then charges may vary based on the peer review process, whether it is single peer reviewed or double blind, or it is an open access model. And then the other question is to be asked while selecting a journal is the length and structure of the manuscript acceptable for the journal? Because proper formatting, length, and structure of the article in accordance with the policy of the journal enhances the chances of acceptance. So these are the few questions which we must take into consideration for selection of a journal for your script. So take home message is that the right journal and right audience not only ensure publication success, but amplify your research impact. And it is your research impact which will take rise to the skies. Now my second assignment is on, right, how to choose a research topic. How to choose a research topic. And this is especially for the residents and house officers, it is very important. Residents of any qualification. Like now a step-by-step guide for how to choose a research topic. This is specifically for the residents and for the beginners who want to do research, but they don't know how to choose a research title topic. Right. So the learning objective of this portion of the talk is this presentation may guide you through different methods to select a research topic. And is now these criteria for selecting a research topic. So these benchmarks are the criteria, are the keywords must be taken into account for selection of a topic. Interest, it should be, the topic should be engaging. Novelty, not ditto repeat of a research work. I don't mean by novelty, it should be truly original, but small twist, different twist must be given in the form of technique, in the form of a medicine, in the form of a modification of the design, or in the form of species and whatnot. So avoid repeated research. Repeated research does not mean, now on diabetes, since decades research is being done and will continue to do so. So that does not mean it is a repeat research, but it should not be, there should be slight variation or different novelty which must be included in our research. And then is feasibility. You may be a philosopher, we may become a scholar, but if it is not doable, so then it will not be accomplished. And then is it relevance? Relevance to your field of study. And then is scope. Scope should be either, it should not be too broad. Too broad topics are for the books, not for the research articles. And neither too narrow. And guidance, always availability of a mentor. Your topic should have some mentor from which you can get the guideline. And then is traditional methods for selecting a topic. They were consulting a professor. If you're working for a degree, say fellowship or MDMS or whatnot or PhD, then is consulting a professor. Second is reviewing the university websites. And third is reading the research papers. And then is attending seminars and conferences. But they used to be, they are even today, the traditional methods for selection of topic. And then literature review approach has got 5 steps. Identify key papers. Say, for example, you want to work on genealogy of or genes therapy in diabetes mellitus, say type 1. So genes therapy is your keyword. Type 1 diabetes uncontrolled is your keyword. So key papers according to the keywords should be selected. Extract important keywords and then is read related papers. Now good review papers, जो invited review papers है, good review papers are the best source for creation of a new good idea. And then is identify the research gap. From your review paper, you will learn, यार ये जो aspect है, ये इसमें नहीं देखी गई, ये खलश हो रही है. So that is a research gap. And formulate a research problem. And then time required for topic selection. So there is no hard and fast rule, but generally short process is thinking process will take you 1 to 3 months when you consult a professor for your research topic. And then is medium process will take us around 3 to 6 months, but not generalized. They're just the guesses. Because through the literature review and the conferences. And the long process will take us about 6 to 12 months if we are exploring multiple research areas. If it is an interdisciplinary, or transdisciplinary, or transcentral research, then it is going to take 6 to 12 months to formulate a meaningful topic. And then is a tool to assist. Now, don't say, now today we are going to have an AI session, so there are certain AI tools, artificial intelligence tool to assist us. And generally, the tools which are used for selection a topic are Consensus AI or Jenny AI. So Consensus AI summarizes the research papers. If you put the keywords so that will put up you many, and then it will summarize the outcome of various research paper. And Jenny AI generates the research idea. And then is a PaperPal is another tool that is, it mainly looks for academic writing, sport, grammar, and plagiarism checks. So don't be shy to use these AI models or AI tools to select a research topic or to give it a final shape of the research topic. Now this is an example. Now if we want to work in the area of nanotechnology, first of all, read review papers. ठीक है जी, but we are in medicine. से आपने बना लिया कि जी nanotechnology in health sciences. ठीक, use of nanotechnology or nanobiotechnology in health sciences. So then read the review papers which are related to this theme or this topic. And secondly, identify research areas. You're a cardiologist, or a cardiophysiologist, or a cardioanatomist, so then you will taper it down to use of nanobiotechnology in cardiovascular system or cardiovascular health, or in cardiac health, cardiac diseases, right? And then comes a third step. Now choose a subtopic. So you want to work for the stents, manufacturing or redesigning of the cardiac stents. So then you will taper it that a cardiac stents, nanobiotechnology in the use of manufacturing or designing the cardiac stent for the cardiovascular system. And then identify the gaps. You will see up till now, all the stents, say for example, just an example, they last only for 5 to 6 years. आप कहते हैं ये क्या अजाब है कि हर 5-7 साल के बाद वो क्लॉग हो जाएगा और दूसरा कार्डियक स्टेंट लगाना पड़ेगा. I should use nanotechnology. From the nanotechnology material, I will devise which will stay for a longer time. Say, for example, 25 years. तो आप कहेंगे longevity or longevity, like of the material used in manufacturing of the cardio stents, as do dot लगा देंगे hyphen nanobio by the use of nanobiotechnology. Here you have tapering the topic. Then is from there you will formulate a research question. So first of all, make a broader area, like, and then you keep on tapering to specificity, coming to the point, like where it will become a research question. So why topic? Tapering it down. लट्टू होते थे पुराने, लट्टू की तरह, ठीक है जी, inverted pyramid की तरह. So then you will come to the target point, like to formulate a research question. Right? So this example, if you imprint it in your mind, so that will help the beginners to formulate a research topic. And then now how to identify the research gaps. And in fact, this is the only difficult point for the beginners, like to choose a research topic. Identification of the research gaps. Now, एक तो है ना spot emerging trends. ये जो smart people आपको नजर आते हैं ना कि 500 publication, तो 700 publication, जिस तरह Playboy street smart हैं, इसी तरह कुछ लोग publication smart हैं. वो कैसे? Now, spot emerging trends. आज आप monkeypox पे टॉपिक उल्टा सीधी रिसर्च करके छापे, that will be published now. कुछ अर्सा पहले, if you read even a substandard article on COVID, it would have been published, right? So they see what is the problem going on in the world these days, right? Say how to identify spot emerging trends. So they see the trends and start doing some work, and even a substandard work could take publication, क्योंकि हर शख्स नए टॉपिक के पीछे जाता है, what is in it, right? And then is consulting literature review and meta-analysis. And then you can work out through engagement with the academic community. ठीक है जी, ये बिल्कुल उसी तरह है कि अगर आपने, ठीक है जी, जो भी काम करना हो, जब तक उसकी community के लोग, academic discuss it with your professors and academic community, and explore uncharted territories, like, and then is conduct an exhaustive review of existing literature, and then research conflicting finding among the studies. Say for example, एक ने बकरी में की, दूसरे ने पिग में की, तीसरे ने केनाइन में की, फोर्थ ने जनाब आपके एम्फिबियन में की, किसी ने रेप्टाइल्स में की. आप समझते हैं, oh, nobody has done work on fish, let us see what happens in it, create another controversy. So that is a novelty, again, in the form of a research. And then is analyze methodological weaknesses. The research is the same, but you change the method. You change the method. This is more accurate method. This is more quick method. This is more cost effective. This is more easier to do. Like, so you change the technique, but the research is the same. So that again, a novelty research. Like, so by these mechanisms different, you will come to the conclusion that is how to identify a research topic or can give a new twist to the already existing research work. And finally, like the take-home message is choosing research topic is a crucial first step for us to start a research. Choosing a research topic, right? And use traditional and AI methods, like both. Use hybrid model. And then is stay motivated and seek guidance, because it requires a lot of patience, like stay motivated and stay guidance. I believe some of the points at least may help you while selecting an appropriate journal to your specific study and selecting a research topic. With these words, I thank you very much for your patient listening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Aslam.